Hello students, welcome to Notebook Video Lessons. Today, we shall discuss the chapter Land Resources and Agriculture. Land is put to different uses. Agriculture is practiced on some lands, while some lands are used to build houses, roads, parks, and other necessary buildings. Different types of lands are suitable for different purposes. The Land Revenue Department keeps a track of the various uses for which land is used in different areas. These land use categories add up to the reporting area, which is not a fixed concept. It changes with the estimates of the land revenue records. Meanwhile, the geographical area stays fixed as per the records of the Survey of India. Let us take a quick look at the various purposes for which land is used. Forests. Land put to non-agricultural uses such as settlements, roads, canals, infrastructure, etc. Barren and wastelands such as hilly terrains, ravines, desert lands, etc. Area under permanent pastures and grazing lands. Area under miscellaneous tree crops and groves which are privately owned. Cultivable wasteland or land which is left uncultivated for more than 5 years. Current fallow or land which is left without cultivation for one or less than one agricultural year. Fallow, other than current fallow, is the cultivable land which is left uncultivated for more than a year but less than 5 years. Net area sown, or the land on which crops are sown and harvested. Now, land use of a region changes with the change in demands of the economy. Let us take a look at the three types of changes which an economy undergoes, which in turn affects land use. As an economy grows in size due to increase in population, the pressure on land increases. More and more marginal lands start to come under use. With the growth of secondary and tertiary sectors, land use will shift from agricultural to non-agricultural purposes. Such changes can be observed in the urban areas of developing countries. The pressure on land for agricultural purposes do not decrease with time, even though the contribution of the agricultural activities reduce. This is because of the ever-growing population which need to be fed and the number of people making a livelihood out of agricultural practices. Indian economy has drastically changed over the 4 or 5 decades. The changes between 1960 to 61 and 2002 to 2003 show that 3 categories have undergone increases, while 4 have shown declines. The categories which have shown an increase are forest, area under non-agricultural uses, and current fallow lands. The area of land under non-agricultural uses have shown highest rate of increase. This is due to the fact that a growing economy is dependent on its industries and service sectors. The increase in settlements, both in rural and urban areas, have added to this increase. This increase in area of non-agricultural land is at the cost of wastelands and agricultural lands. Meanwhile, the areas demarcated as forest lands have shown an increase, not the actual forest cover, while the variability of current fallow lands depend on the rainfall and cropping cycles. On the other hand, the 4 categories that have registered a decline are barren and wasteland, cultivable or cultivable wasteland, area under pastures, and tree crops and net area sown. More and more wastelands have been put to use due to an increased pressure on agricultural and non-agricultural sectors. More and more areas under cultivable land are being used for non-agricultural purposes. The decline in land under pastures and grazing lands are caused due to the pressure from agricultural lands. According to the ownership, land can be categorized as private land and common property resources or CPRs. The CPRs, or common property resources, are for community uses. They provide fodder for the livestock and fuel for the households. They also provide products like fruits, nuts, fibers, medicinal plants, etc. Thus, CPRs are a community's natural resource. Land serves several purposes, especially agriculture, which is completely a land-based activity. The quality of land directly affects agriculture too. It has been observed that though there is a decline in the area of cultivable wasteland, there is a decrease in the area of cultivable land. The possibility of including more land under the net zone area is limited. Thus, we have to resort to land-saving technologies. This type of technology can be classified into two types: those which raise the yield of any particular crop per unit area of land, and those which increase the total output per unit area of land from all crops grown over one agricultural year. The second type of technology also increases the demand for labor, which is highly helpful to our country. Let us now take a quick look at the 3 cropping seasons in India. The 3 major cropping seasons are Kharif, Rabi, and Zaid. Kharif season extends from June to September, and the crops grown are rice, cotton, bajra, maize, and tur. Rabi season begins with winter and extends from October to March. The crops grown during this season are wheat, gram, mustard, and barley. Zaid is a short duration of cropping season from April to June. Watermelons, cucumbers, vegetables, and fodder crops are grown during this season. Farming in India is either irrigated or rain-fed. We also have protective or productive farming under irrigated farming. Under protective irrigation, crops are protected from the adverse effects of soil moisture deficiency. The aim of this kind of irrigation is to provide soil moisture to maximum possible area. Thus, irrigation acts as the supplementary source of water after rainfall. Productive irrigation provides sufficient soil moisture in the cropping season to achieve high productivity. The water input per unit area of cultivated land is higher than protective irrigation. Rain-fed farming is classified into dry land farming or wetland farming according to the soil moisture content. Dry land farming is seen in the regions having an annual rainfall of less than 75 centimeters. These regions practice water harvesting and several water conservation methods. Hardy and drought-resistant crops such as ragi, bajra, moong, and gram are grown in such areas. In wetland farming, due to excess rainfall, the soil moisture requirement of plants is high during rainy season. These areas grow various water-intensive crops such as rice, jute, and sugarcane. Practices such as aquaculture is also carried on in such lands. With that, we come to the end of the first part of our discussion. We shall continue discussing this chapter in the second part of our video lesson. Let's catch up there.